With From Software's recent release of their extended Elden Ring gameplay trailer, I'm filled to the brim with excitement to explore the lands between. I'm sure most of you have seen the trailer, but I bet you missed some of these fine details. While other creators have summarized the entire thing much better than I ever could, I've gone through it frame by frame to highlight some of the goodies that I haven't seen documented anywhere yet. Please sit back and enjoy. Number 1 is, well, a squirrel. Apart from being very cute, this most likely gives the thin animal bone item used for crafting that we'll talk about later. This is one of the confirmed animals we've seen other than eagles, deer, sheep, dung beetles, and wolves. While we might need to hunt these squirrels for materials, I'm just not sure I could bring myself to kill this little fuzzy boy. Number 2 is this wyvern egg. Shown briefly several times in the swamp during the wyvern fight, is what appears to be an egg of some sort. It appears unmoving and half-hatched, with the mouth of a baby poking out from inside. Is this why the wyvern is so angry? There appears to be a few other similarly shaped objects in this area, hinting to the possibility of more than one egg, but we never get a close-up on the others to confirm this theory. I wonder if they're just props in the area, or perhaps drop some kind of item. Number 3 is, after the lightning strikes the ground for a mysterious reason, we get a glimpse of a giant ogre-like creature atop a hill past some ruins. It appears to have a large weapon on its back as it patrols the cliff. Is this just a regular enemy, or perhaps another in-world mini-boss? I can't wait to fight this guy. Number 4 is the items screen. When the player is crafting sleep arrows, the ingredients are shown. They're listed as thin animal bone, found by hunting beasts, flight pinion, found by hunting birds, and Trina's lily, exceedingly rare to find. Although the player is in the All Items tab, the ingredients needed and held aren't shown here. Is this just an oversight for the sake of the demo, or will crafting items have a tab of their own? In the past, All Items has meant all, but then again, we've never had crafting. Other interesting notes here are total held can be 99, while total stored is 600. Number 5 is the summoning of the goblin army. When summoning, the player uses a bell or chime and raises a box of ash. These instruments are ones of faith in previous Souls games, which could possibly imply that summons are miracles and or faith-based. During the Godric boss fight, a similar bell chime is used to summon the Pumpkinhead Ogre. Do you think summons will be all faith-based, or perhaps shared between several stats? Now on to number 6, and if I've managed to pique your curiosity by now, please consider leaving a like. If not, we've still got 6 more hidden gems to go along with some wild theories. We see off to the left of the screen an NPC sitting by fire. He appears to have several weapons of varying types. I think one's a catalyst, as well as a bedroll and a few urns. Could this be an in-world merchant of some kind, or perhaps another quest-giving NPC? Either way, he has a site of Lost Grace right next to him, which makes me lean towards the merchant option a bit more. Number 7 is this giant tree, perhaps not quite like the others. In one of the forests filled with giant unspeakable enemies, we see the base of a giant tree trunk that appears to almost be burnt or rotting. Other Erd tree trunks we've seen are white, similarly to birch trees. Has this tree been corrupted by the beings surrounding it? We never get to see the top of it, but back at the proposed merchant sitting by the campfire from earlier, we get a glimpse of what I think is the trunk of the same tree above the canopy, also looking dark and burnt. And now on to number 8. On the far side of this forest, we're introduced to an amazing looking horse boss mounted on a possibly undead steed. In one hand he has a giant clawed shield and the other a spiked pick or hammer. It's hard to make out some of the details on these weapons, but it appears the weapon's handle is made of bone with a great claw at the tip. The spikes on the shield also appear to be fashioned from bone. Interestingly enough, he also uses red lightning magic, much like the dragon boss shown in the June official gameplay reveal trailer. While both weapons have attacks imbued with this lightning, the red lightning AoE appears to be cast using the offhand claw shield. I theorize that he is either a dragon slayer of some kind and has crafted weapons from his kills, or is maybe a dragon bro or similar and has been entrusted with their magic. Further arguments for this theory show the horse's bridle being in the style of dragon wings, and the horse also appearing to breathe fire several times throughout the fight. What do you think? And now on to number 9. In the small dungeon shown during the preview, the player uses a torch in their offhand to light their path. I really like the idea of dungeons being dark and dimly lit and the use and necessity of light to explore them. We can also see 3 holes in the wall at one point, implying the return of similar traps from other Souls games, like in Irithel Dungeon. Anyone who has played the Souls games in the past has most likely suffered from walking onto a raised stone plate in the floor and falling victim to this kind of trap, and I think it's great to see them make a return. After passing this trap and the discovery of an illusory wall, the player puts the torch away, but appears to still have a glow emanating from their hand. Is this the first we've seen of the pyromancy flame? While we don't get to see any pyromancy being cast, it's great to see this iconic and primitive form of magic make a return. It makes me wonder several things, like will we first come across it in a great swamp? And will it make any reference to Quelana, one of the daughters of the Witch of Izalith and the mother of the art of pyromancy? Moving on to number 10. After the dungeon sequence, we're introduced to Elden Ring's version of the Firekeeper, known as Melina. Her left eye appears to be not functional, but it also seems to have a tattoo over it that's very reminiscent of a dragon's wing. This ties in with many other dragon-related themes in the game, and makes me wonder, what happened with the dragons? Godric speaks of them as true-born heirs, but what does this signify? Was there perhaps a great war between the gods and dragons, similarly to the first Dark Souls lore? Number 11 might be a bit of a stretch, but it's always fun to theorize. The swords in Stormvale Castle. Where the NPC is at the start of the area who offers an alternate route to enter this castle, there is a crest adorning the wall that holds a few similarities to the Sword of Artorias. Notably, the curved hilt as well as decorative engravings is what first drew my attention. Could this be another connection between worlds? The lore is spoken several times in cryptic tweets about wolves and their role in this world, as well as one of the starting classes for the network test being called Bloody Wolf. Is this hinting at a covenant, like the Watchdogs perhaps? I'd love to see some sort of connection between Dark Souls Artorias and how those events rippled through into the lands between. And finally, number 12, let's talk about Godric's left hand. While King Godric's model is stunning in its own right, his left hand appears to have 6 fingers. This is the hand that's grafted with a dead dragon's head later in the fight, as we can confirm the dragon's head is gone. But the apparent cutscene where this happens is cut from the trailer, perhaps to hide some dialogue giving further exposition. Does this signify something to do with dragons also, beyond just using what was lying around to transform his body? Why is there a dead dragon there in the castle courtyard to begin with? I think there's a lot more going on with dragons in the Elden Ring story than we've been told, but as all things shrouded in mystery, time will tell. So, what did you think, fellow Tarnished? Did I miss any other hidden gems? Are my theories stretching beyond the realm of reason? Let me know in the comments below. As a PC gamer, I won't have access to the upcoming network test, but you'd better believe I'll be picking apart any and all footage I can get my hands on to further unravel the mysteries of Elden Ring. Drop a like on the video if I found something you didn't, and subscribe for more Elden Ring content in the coming weeks. There's just over 100 days until release, but I can assure you it's going to be well worth the wait.